Sorry about that. Alright. Yay! Yeah, that's not too bad. Oh, I missed it. Do something with that. I don't think so. Yeah. You don't need anything. Yeah, it doesn't take much to run the jet engines, that's for sure. What do you think? I think the blade is way too far forward. Well, we don't need the clutch. Oh, yeah. For sure. It's always up too loud. I don't understand why. Oh, that's a lot better. Yeah, how about that? Can we deal with that? Is that down too low? There we go. It's close. That center of mass is still way far back. Alright, we're putting the tail on a diet. Ah, yes, nice. And then what we'll have to do is put some weight in the nose. So there's this fourth one down, the buttons on the right. Shows you the center of mass. And what you really want is the main rotor blade to be over that center of mass. So basically I need to either move this jet engine back so that the rotor, because I'm kind of limited by all the gear I have to have up here. Either move the jet engine back or get the center of mass more forward. And I'm more apt to get that center of mass forward. But we'll see once we get like fuel in it and things like that, see how it flies first before we do much of anything. Let's try. Yeah, that tail really wants to hit the ground. I think I want it up a little bit more too. Yeah, you can make it a coaxial helicopter if you really want. Yeah, there you go. Right? So basically, my Twitch crashed again? Jesus! Come on, people! Alright, well. Oh, mine's still going. Mine's 1080p 60. Yep. Looks like it's good to me. Alright, so, shall we get it in the air? Can't throw one of those in there. Let's see. And then put in some door controllers. Don't connect the button together. Put that one up, hook this one up. And it's going to be -1. Which one? Which one do you want to fly from? Left or right? How does my door controller work? It's a switch box, basically. And I use these things, they're called property numbers. One is called on value, one is called off value. And so that whenever you click on the microcontroller, it's easy to edit the switch box. It works for like so many things. I use the door controller for like everything. It's like here, it's the switch box. It's like I need to move, switch number, door controller. Okay. Okay. Should I put the doors in? Or fly? How about? How about we take a tank? We'll set it to jet fuel, make sure. And then, let's see. Jet engine controller. Okay, so throttle. I don't have a compressor, we'll have to switch that. RPS. Oops, a number. There we go. So add a switch box. Connect the minimum maximums. Go more powerful on the P value. We don't need nearly that much. Yeah, I was gonna do 2 sliding doors on the sides here. They pop out and slide back. Something like that. Okay, so let's see. Keypad 1. Run. We're gonna set the minimum to 5 RPS. And we'll see if we can get the blades to spin, shall we? RPS is 4.9, so it's working. Let's do this up a bunch so we can run it, and then we'll up it to 15. And let's hook up the gyro. So I'll hook up the auto hover to the engine run, just so that it's stabilized all the time. Makes it kind of easy for beginners. Pitch, we'll do WS. I like my roll on the A and D. The up and down, we'll go to the up and down or the collective. And the yaw, I like to put on the left and right. Yaw, we're gonna put back to the fin back here, but it's going to be backwards because our fin's pointing the wrong way. We can hook up these guys. Roll. Pitch. Up and down goes to collective. I forgot one of the major things I have to do here. Well, I gotta get the tail rotor working. Kind of forgot about that. I think this is gonna be the easiest way. No, I've just been putting off. Okay, so we'll match the tail rotor RPS with the main rotor RPS. I could add an electric motor, but then you'd have to put on like generators on the main engine, and that kind of takes more power from the main engine. So there we go. Yeah, something like that, maybe. Some room for seats. Yeah, I like that. It's kind of a Alright, so let's start it up. Now that the gyro is hooked up, oops. Did I mess up something? D-starter. So the throttle, let's hook that up here. Let's see. And we're backwards for sure. So I think I'm gonna do the lazy thing. And we're just gonna put a -1 gearbox on there. So now we took off, and we have this little kind of phantom yaw happening, and that's from the main rotor's rotation. So that's where we have to trim it out. Let me kind of come down a little bit. So we hold the Alt button and don't push anything except for the opposite direction in the yaw. And you just tap the button until it stops. And so now when you let go of the keyboard, we have this slight drift to the left, and that's normal for helicopters. Normally helicopters will hover with one skid low. Come outside real quick so that we don't bounce around inside of there. So as you notice, 0.10 on the yaw kind of made us not spin around. So when you hold the Alt, that's going to, let me tap it one more time. So I think it's 0.9, it's gonna be hard. There we go, 0.9. Or 0.09, sorry. And that's gonna hold us, as far as like spinning left and right goes, hold us pretty still. Let's fly over a line. And see if I can trim out the so if we trim out the roll to prevent the drift is where the skid gets low in Stormworks. And so this is pretty darn stable. We have, so the RPS is a little bit high, but that can be adjusted on the gyro. Alright, so now on the gyro, this minimum throttle and maximum throttle is what you're going to adjust to trim out the collective. So I was coming up a little bit, so we'll turn this down to 95% for the maximum throttle. Oops. What I'm also going to do is we're going to take a function block connect it from the stabilized yaw to the tail rotor. And what we're going to do is say x plus 0.09. You can select the seat and scroll all the way down and edit it here in the trim axis. But trying to get it to go back to 0 on this trim axis, or go back to the number that you have typed in here, is really hard. Going back to 0 is pretty easy. You just hold you hold Alt, and you press both opposite buttons in the same time, so left and right, and that will 0 it down. But that will make it 0 and not the 0.09 that we had it trimmed out at. So that's kind of the caveat with adding the trim down here. So I put in a function block and trim it out manually. Yeah, exactly. How about we make some slider doors? How about I do that? Guess it's not really that big of a slider, is it? We'll take some linear tracks. Slap those down. And we can slide them backwards like that. We'll take another slider. Maybe just the track for now. And we'll put it on top of these heads. And then take this track and put it on top like that. So when we look at it, there's going to be 3 different colors. The main red color, the purple color, and then the orange color. And so this orange color is... Oh yeah, I do have a Discord actually. Will that work? Yeah, it didn't work. Here, I'll just, I always gotta do this. There you are. There we go. Alright, so now what we need to do is get this orange connected to our door. So I'm going to build out blocks and connect and merge it to the door, and then get well, actually, fine. Merge this side too. Make sure we're doing the same thing on both sides. Okay. And then we can delete these braces from the doors. And then we can cover that hole back up. I guess it didn't want to put it in that chat. Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's preventing the bots. There may be some verification jazz that you gotta push the buttons. So let's take this. And we'll put a window on it. And then we'll put on another door controller. See, yeah, so. Actually, I don't want the door controller. we're gonna put on a 1x3 blank microcontroller. And inside of here, we're gonna do some magic. So we're gonna have one on-off input and two number outputs. And we're gonna say slider 1 and then slider 2. And this one we'll label toggle. And then spread them so that they work. And this one will be the door controller as well. And inside of here, we're going to take the toggle and we're going to take two switch boxes and two capacitors. Then we're going to need two numbers. We're going to say 1 and -1. Okay. Now I'm pretty sure that I put it -1 to close and 1 to open. So 1 is going to slide it back all the way out, and -1 is going to pull it in. So I did. So I set it up so that the -1 is the off and the on is the 1 value. So let's hook these up and we'll pick which slider is which. So we'll say slider 1 will be the main one going back and forth. Slider 2 will be the little one going in and out. And we'll hook up this two-sided toggle so that it's inside and outside. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll see how far back that goes. So in the logic, in the door controller, after we have chosen which ones are which, we're going to set these capacitors to the timing sequence that we want them to open and close at. So the slider 1 has to wait a second, or wait a split second before operating, and slider 2 has to open right away so it pulls the door out. So what we're going to set is we're going to set ½ a second charge time on slider 1 so it doesn't work right away. And we're going to set the discharge time to 0 so that it closes right away. So when we turn the button off, it's going to close right away. It'll be the first one to operate. For slider 2, we want it to operate right away, so we turn to 0 seconds, and we want it to wait a good amount, probably 2 seconds, before slamming the door closed. And so let's try and see what that does. That's pretty good. Let's see. Oops, dropped something here. Let's see how far back this door opens. So it's pretty much, yeah, a block. I would like it a block forward. So what I'll do is take one piece off here. Now, the thing slides kind of weird. And there's a couple of ways to combat that. So one thing I'm gonna do is take these. There's this sliding connector gripper and a slider connector track. This is gonna get real tight. Let's see. So that's gonna make it slide easier going that way. That's not really a major concern. Another thing need to put a weight block on there. But what I'm probably gonna do is put the slider connector track. Oh. Well, that's not gonna work either now, is it? Boy, it tucks itself in there nicely. Alright, well, scratch all that. We're gonna put the weight block back on it. And then on the door, maybe right here. Sweet. Let's turn this down to 1 second. Nice. And let's check the other side now. Sweet. But what color should it be now? That's my biggest question. All right. Combat green or navy gray. That sounds pretty good. They have like a bluish gray. That'd be pretty good. Yar, stream ending. Yes. I'll be back tomorrow. Well, thanks for watching. Yes, I am. Oh yeah, man. Definitely. Thanks for watching, guys. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!